Joined by Dr. Feroz Osman. He's a General Secretary at the Media Review Network. Dr. Osman, a very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Now, let's take Gaza as it stands now. We've seen the international community call for a ceasefire, including President Nicolas Sarkozy, but Israel also wants a lasting solution. Right now, what should be done to stop the violence in Gaza?
I think it is mere rhetoric that they want a ceasefire. The same thing happened in Lebanon in 2006, where this conflict was allowed to go on for 42 days until Israel started suffering major casualties. So Sarkozy, Bush, and the Western world are complicit in this attack on Gaza, where the civilians are being butchered. There's a massacre that is going on, and it is really very easy if the Western world wants Israel to stop. But I don't believe that there is a will. I don't believe Israel, despite its words, saying that, you know what, it wants a ceasefire. There is a determination here to kill as many civilians as possible in order to oust the Hamas government, which they've been trying to do for the last 18 months.
There are also conflicting media reports coming from Israel and Palestine, but us as the viewers, as the Western world, sitting here looking on at exactly what is happening, at people being butchered, civilians dying, children dying, what should we believe?
Well, Israel has stopped the media to go into Gaza. They are carrying out this, and it has happened before in Jenin, where even our very own Bishop Tutu was forbidden to enter that place in order to hide the atrocities that is continuing. Fortunately, we have Al Jazeera that is in there, that we are witnessing this carnage that is going on there, this absolute horrendous massacres that we are witnessing on the screen is genocidal proportions here. And unfortunately, the world is simply embarking on a rhetorical manner in saying that, you know, this carnage must stop. But certainly it can stop if they don't support Israel in this. But unfortunately, there is no such will, and the butchery will continue.
You mentioned Lebanon, where in 42 days, you said, it carried on and the attacks happened. It's 11 days now. Are we going to be counting up to, let's say, 42 days? Are we going to see this happen day in and day out until there's some solution?
Unfortunately, it seems like it will continue because Israel has been determined. It has planned for this for the last 6 months in order to go on. And of course, they need to reassert their authority in the region. They lost a lot of credibility in Lebanon. They are now using all their firepower against a defenseless people. This is massacre beyond belief. And unfortunately, Israel has willfully violated all the international norms, all civil norms. They have violated the 65 United Nations resolutions against Israel, and it has got away with impunity for a long time, protected by the very powers that are calling for Israel to stop now. So Israel has done this for a very long time, and it will continue to do so until and unless the United States in particular and the other governments now act in order to punish Israel for the crimes it has committed. Let us not, you know, vacillate with words here. You know, these are war crimes. This is crimes that are committed, and they are complicit, the Western world, including the Arab regimes, particularly Egypt, that can open Rafah. It is violating not only all religious laws, but international law. It is the Geneva Convention, as well as international humanitarian law. So this must really come to a halt.
Now, Dr. Osman, if we backtrack and let's try and go back to the root of the problem. One media specialist, one Middle East specialist, I beg your pardon, said that there was a huge misunderstanding that the Middle East crisis stems from religion. What is your view on that?
Well, that's correct. You know, this is not a war between Islam and Judaism. Judaism is a religion of faith that is thousands of years old. The creation of Israel from the rib of terrorism, I might add, only started on the back of Zionism, political Zionism that emanated in 1897. And the aim of Zionism was to create a national home based on colonialism, racism. This is an apartheid state, and it is this political Zionism that underpins the ideology of Israel, and therefore it is committing these crimes in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Palestine. They believe in colonialism, in expansionism, in racism. And this is something that South Africans understand very well, because Herzl asked Cecil Rhodes, who had colonized southern Africa at the time, for advice at that time. So this is an apartheid state. It is a racist state that functions on expansionism, and it is has been committing atrocities and massacres for over 60 years now.
Thank you so much. That's Dr. Feroz Osman, General Secretary at the Media Review Network. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Well, it is 5:15 and time for us to take a very quick break. When we come back, news from the African continent and also an update on what's happening in the cricket down under. Do stay with us.